Hadis Yakubi is from Afghanistan and she was born and grew up in Iran. She arrived to Lesbos in June 2021. Since then, she is involved in different self-organized migrant collectives as a Women in Solidarity House, WISH, and she works as translator for different organizations. And Mehdi Darif is from Morocco, and he arrived to Lesbos in the end of 2019, and then he's 27 years old because he told me to improvise whatever I know about him. And yes, and he is just in Zurich now. So I start a little bit to give you information about Lesbos, very short introduction, let's say. Maybe you already heard about Moria camp, which was very unfamous camp that was burnt down in the September of 2020. And after Moria camp, a new camp, which was called provisory camp, was built up, which is called Mavrovouni camp. And it was built on an old military zone, which is still contaminated with lead and has serious health risk for people living there. And it is very close to the sea, and it is very open to the bad effects of the weather and wind and the rain and everything. But also it is built in a way to separate different communities. So all the different communities living in the camp are hardly separated from each other. So far, the population is 47% from Afghanistan, 90% from Syria, 7% from Congo, 6% from Palestine, 6% from Somalia, and other 15% from the other countries. So how all different communities sharing with different languages. Also, when we say Afghanistan 47% majority, this also doesn't mean that all of them are homogenic Afghan, because there are also different ethnic groups, and there are different dynamics, and how people really find a way to be in harmony in all these bad conditions. We wanted to speak with this from first-person testimonies who are really living this, and I will shut up very soon and give the words to them. And so in the first part, we will a little bit speak about their experiences, starting from their stories. And in the second part, we will share with you a dictionary that we prepared in occasion of this conference with the words used by all communities living in the camp, a small dictionary. Yes. So I want to just start with Hadis now. Yeah, if you want to say us, how did you arrive in the island when you were in the camp for the first time? How was your communication with different people? Maybe you saw for the first time different communities.
Yes. I arrived around 7 months ago or 8 months ago here, and when I arrived, I just arrived. I should communicate with Greek people or some NGO to take us, save us, and I knew just a little bit English, and just I was the one of person in my group to come here, and we didn't know how to contact with them. And also after, like, we were in quarantine for a week, and after that, when we were in normal camping with another group of people, I saw a lot of people from another country, and I think, and also we lived together. On that time, we lived like the same area, and when we want to speak together, and just we tried to find a word that we used, like it was common for us, like because I lived in Turkey, and so I thought maybe they lived in Turkey. Yes, maybe we can find a word from Turkish language to speak or something like this. And yeah, this was my experience, first experience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe I can give the word to Mehdi. His experience also a little bit more particular because, okay, maybe he explains. Yeah, when you first arrive to Lesbos, your first encounter with the reality here within the camp, and being from Morocco and knowing both French and Arabic, which different occasion gave to you, let's say.
So yes, I arrived to Lesbos in exactly the 11th of November 2019. And then when I arrived, like, they took me directly to the detention center. It was like really an horrible, I don't know, experience, you can say, because they told me that they took me there because only I'm Moroccan, and I felt it like first, like it's being from a country, it's just like a crime. And they took me to a room with 15 people from different countries like Syria, Egypt, Algeria, and there was like people from Congo, Gambia, Angola. So they were like, they found a problem of communicating with each other, and I was like a solution to them, because I was like a bridge connecting between people who speaks Arabic and who speaks French and who speaks English also, because I speak the three languages. So I was like, it was a great experience to know people from different countries. Like, yeah, first when I was in Morocco, I saw many people from Africa, like all the African countries, you can say, but it's like another experience when you are living in a room like all the day, 24 hours with different people, and you are like, as I said, you are like the bridge, so you can connect people. And it was like a great experience who helped us to forget a bit about the detention center. And after when I went out, it's like another world again in the camp, another different experience, like with Afghani people, for example, trying to know key words from Farsi, and then also from different languages. And I was like, also, I met a lot of people from Germany, from different countries. So yeah, it was like a great experience also to know many cultures, many people. Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Maybe here I want to open a parenthesis because it was very interesting for me because of your connection with a Syrian friend. Your Arabic converted to be Syrian Arabic, and people were thinking you are not Moroccan but Syrian. This was also very interesting. Yeah, if you want to say something about this.
Yeah, it was like when I first arrived, they were asking me, and I was like, I don't know how I did it, but I was like speaking with the Syrian accent, and they did not believe that I'm Moroccan. So I had to speak Moroccan so they can believe that I'm Moroccan. And then that accent, it helped me a lot also to speak with different Arabic countries like Iraq and Egypt. And it was like a solution to speak also with Arabic people.
Thank you. Now I would like to have Hadis also ask you, because you were the only one in your family to speak English.
Yeah.
And what kind of responsibility is to find in a foreign country for the first time, and to have you were 6 people, if I'm not wrong, 5 people,
yeah.
And yeah, maybe you want to speak
At the first, when we arrived here, actually we need to call some NGO, and we were a group, and we should find a solution to contact with them. And I was the only person, and they thought if I cannot do something and they pushed back us to Turkey, it was my fault. But I was very, very worried. And after that, when we could manage to go to camp, and after that also they are coming some doctors from MSF or somewhere else, and they didn't have interpreter for speaking with us. And I knew just some, like, I know, but I on that time I was not ready for speaking in other language. But and just I tried to be very, very careful, because they are not ready, they were not ready. But I want to be very, very the best for the group, not just for my family, for our group. But and after that, when we were in a camp also, because to have to asylum process also need is a person who knows better than another one, like to speak with them, to, you know, sometimes interpreter doesn't want to work very well, and you need the you are, if you know English, you can have better connection with the lawyer or another organization. And yes, yeah, that's.
Thank you. So maybe now we are opening our dictionary for you, and because it will tell us a lot. And so if we can arrange our time well, so if in the next maximum half an hour we can finish our dictionary, then we can have time also to answer your questions. So I want to say something about this dictionary. So it is not a classical dictionary. Sometimes we collected these words from different people, and one of our friends, Shahram Ahmadi, who couldn't join us today, he contributed a lot to this dictionary. I want to thank him also for this. Some definitions can look like more classical definitions, but some are more like feelings of people when they hear this word, and we try to keep them as they are, without really editing a lot, but how they came to us, and we just forwarded to this dictionary. And yeah, we can understand a lot of realities, also conflicts, like it doesn't mean that these words are only help us to understand how people live in harmony, but there are also some negative aspects, and we didn't hide this because it is coming from here, and it should be also forward to you people. So I start to share my screen, and we will try to explain with Hadis and Mehdi. You, whenever you want, please take the word and do your additions. Okay, thank you. Can you see? Yes? Okay. So this is our dictionary. I start with AFM. This is something very well known by everybody, which is a tax number that allows you to work, but you can have it only if your asylum case is accepted. Then
Ali Baba, a story about, like, it was a common word with in a camp. When you miss something and you go to police and you want to, I missed my. You heard me?
Is there a problem? No.
You're back now.
Okay.
You were gone for 5 seconds.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Can you see our screen?
Yes, everything's perfect.
Okay.
Like for Ali Baba, it's a common word inside the camp when you lose, for example, your phone and you don't know English, and you want to go to police and to say, yes, my phone is I lost my phone and someone stole it, but you don't know English, and just you say, hey police, my phone, Ali Baba, just this, and they understand very well your phone, someone stole it. And this is comes from Arabic countries, and after that it's a story from 100 years ago. I don't know exactly, but Ali Baba was a person looked like Robin Hood. Yeah.
Ausweis, do you want to say?
Yeah. Ausweis, actually, it is a word, a German word, but you know, when the NGO came here and they used this word for identity cards, and it's common for everyone inside the camp, and also after that government and the Greek people, they use this a word for identity card. And when the police stop you in the city and they ask, show me your Ausweis, and yes, and also Afghan people, they told seberge. It means like it's the same Ausweis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Ausweis is most common.
Yeah. Ausweis is the most common. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Baby. This is when women goes to the NGOs with Pampers, they just say baby, holding their babies. And also there are different use of baby. For example, when a young asylum seeker is attacked by police, people around him saying baby, baby, in order to tell stop, leave him alone, get him free. And maybe we have a cat. Maybe you can say, because also during the pushbacks, Hadis was sharing with me.
During the pushback, when the people are afraid, like they want to stop fight with, like, because police fight with the people and they are attack the people, and when they want to stop these things, they show her children, her baby and their baby, and they say just baby to stop this. Yeah.
Baby food is when with newborn babies, people are going to take milk, they just say baby food, and it is known that it is milk.
Bisarparast, it's a Farsi word, but it's actually, I don't know, but what Bisarparast, it means the woman who are like a single mothers, you know, that they are, or the minor who didn't have any parent or something. Yeah.
Bro is brother. Chipro, which is also pronounced like chepro. It's a very heavy alcoholic Greek drink, which was sold inside the Moria camp before. And it was, according to who gave us this definition, it was one of the reasons of the fights between different communities. Mehdi wants to add something. Please, Mehdi.
It's Chipro or Ozo also.
Also Uzo, okay.
Yeah, because they use it a lot in the camps, like Uzo, or like also there was a lot of drugs inside the camp.
Yes.
So it was like also always like the bag.
Mm-hmm.
They used to use a lot of this word, like the bag. Do you have the bag? It means that if you have marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Coast Guard, it's a word that doesn't sound good for many people, because many people who are here now had pushbacks by Coast Guard, and somehow their life was in risk before arriving here. So it is not a nice word, and there are using also life rats that we will show you the picture after. This is another common word for people. This will like
chavuk. I think the first time when I saw, I heard this word it was in Turkey, and the people who came here, for sure they passed Turkey and for have some more money to coming here, or maybe they tried a lot, and after that they should be in Turkey to work or to wait. And so they heard a lot this word çabuk, it means fastly, and now in the side the camp they know what means this word. Yeah.
Dost, it's a beautiful word also in Turkish, we say. It means friend, and somehow people living in the camp used to live, we are all dost, we are all good friends.
Yeah. doctor. I think it's when you want to go to clinic, central triage, or MSF, and you want to ask to have or visit a doctor, or doesn't matter which doctor, nurse, doesn't matter, and they just say like doctor. It's the pronunciation is just from Afghanistan, I think.
Emmanuel was a famous lawyer in Moria camp, and one of the common words, because everyone was dreaming to meet Emmanuel because he can give them asylum paper. Then he took a lot of money and disappeared, according to what we heard.
Euro Relief. It's a manager of the camp, and it's an NGO, but they are managing, but actually they are trying to converting people to Christianity, a religion with which you're more allowed in Europe. Yeah, if you as a good refugee, if you want a good refugee for your life, you should be a Christian, something like this. Yeah.
Mehdi wants to add something. I saw his hand.
Yeah, I want to add, like, when you spoke about Emmanuel, there was not only Emmanuel in the island. There was two famous lawyers. One of them was Emmanuel, and the other was Nicolaus.
Yes.
Nicolaus, like everybody, each refugee knew Nicolaus, and they were like also dreaming to have just to speak with him, like just for 5 minutes, because he was like so busy because of he had many cases and he did nothing for the people. So I wanted to say this because he really did nothing to the people.
Yeah.
Thank you. Fire is very common thing in the island because of like mostly for now proper heating system, and because people are trying to get warm in different ways, and this happen so frequently. Fire is one of the words commonly known. And for food, we had different descriptions. During Moria camp, it was more horrible, as I know, like you need to wait for 4 hours. Now it is a little bit easier, as I know, but yeah.
Because the population is not that too much, yeah.
Yeah, because Moria, during the Moria camp, it was more than 20,000 people, but right now we have 3,000 people.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is here the description of some of the foods. Yeah, maybe we don't read now. Yeah. Food line. Yeah, you want to say?
Inside the camp we have 4 food line. We had 4 food line, and now we have 3 food line, and it's, I think, except of the giving food, when someone wants to meet some other one or each other, and when they want to say I am this location, they just, I think the known location is with like I am in blue food line, like in yellow food line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Freedom.
Yeah. After fire in Moria camp, when I think everyone knows, when the people are in a street without any food, any water, and any place for sleep, and they suffered a lot, and they decided to have a big demonstration and asking freedom. And even the children, that they just know the meaning, and they learn, and just they like clap and saying freedom, something like this. And azadi is the meaning of in Farsi, and they say both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Azadi was also very much used by all the communities.
Yes.
This is one of the pictures from those demonstrations that Hadis was talking about. Mm-hmm. We don't want food, we want freedom. There are many of these slogans during that period. Me. Okay. So quarantena.
Yeah.
it's like refers to quarantine zone. Then first the new arrivals, firstly they are put there for 2 weeks while the first registration procedures are going on. And usually the people, the inhabitants of the camp are somehow going to trying to communicate with these people, asking about their lost relatives and children, showing the pictures if they saw them in Turkey. Yeah, this word sounds, these meanings for people.
And no one doesn't have any good experience about quarantine camp or a quarantine area, because it was not like it is terrible for new arriving or the people who has COVID or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Habibti, it means my love in Arabic, I think. But if as Afghan woman wants to say something to women from Iraq, Syria, Somalia, or they want to be more friendly, just they call Habibti, which means my love, my dear friend. And I think if one man wants to say something to man from another country or Arabic country, they just say Habibi. Yeah.
How many times did you try? This is a typical expression question asked by a migrant to another migrant in order to know how many times this person had pushbacks before arriving to the island. And in these days, there is no people on the island who arrive without having a previous pushbacks. And this number of pushbacks are really high. If Hadis, you want to share?
Yes, 11 times I had pushback and it was very, very bad. Yeah. And I cannot forget, I think.
Yeah. Interview.
Actually, interview when we arrive here, we have an interview and they ask a lot of questions, a lot of emotional questions, and they measure how you like. A measure of your pain, in your country. They measure your problem in your country, and it is if you have like they found you have a little pain, they just rejection you, and they didn't care how you came here, why you are here, and yes, and after that you have a lot of trauma with this interview. And also before also, when you have interview and you saw people, you just say pray for me to tomorrow I have interview, and during that night you and tomorrow of that you have interview, you couldn't sleep, you cannot sleep because you are in stress. Yeah,
it is also one of the main reason of waiting, the endless waiting. Everybody is waiting for the next interview.
Yeah,
also. Yeah. You want to say this?
Yes, I think it's when we it's common in Afghan people when like me, I was born in Iran and I grew up in Iran. When I came back to Afghanistan, they didn't accept me as Afghan girl. Like they told Irani gag, or you are from Iran, you're not Afghan. And also when you are in Iran, they didn't accept you as Afghan, as an Irani person, and they told you are from Afghanistan, and you don't know what is your nationality, what is your country, and it is, yeah, this is
Isa box. These are a little bit in a better conditions than the tents, so they are a little bit warmer and they have electricity, but still they are affected badly from the rain. I just continue. Okay, this was a place in Moria camp where you are applying for vulnerability, because if you prove your vulnerability, your asylum procedure is faster. And also George office is one of the main points. Mehdi raised the hand. Please, you explain it.
Yeah, because I wanted to speak also about the interviews.
Sorry.
Different between being outside in the camp and being also in the detention center. Like I saw many cases. My case, it was like in 15 days I had the interview, and in the same time I was rejected. The first rejection, And I saw a guy, like he arrived after 3 days, he had his interview, and also he was rejected in 3 days. And
Like-
about hypno, like the normal, I would say the normal arrivals, like they pass like, I don't know, 1 hour in Kelpno, the doctor check on people and everything. But the people who will take them to the detention center, it's like 2 minutes. I've been 2 minutes with Kelpno. He was asking me like just questions. And when I said I had a problem in my stomach, he said, okay, after. And then he gave me a paper that I'm not vulnerable. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kadafes. Hadafes.
Khadafes, it means goodbye. When someone from NGOs or another, like NGO, they are coming for helping or for like the doctor, everyone, and then wants to have a normal connection with the people inside. They can most, I think, just for Afghan people or also Iranian people, and they want to know some word. Khodafez is common words that they know, and it means goodbye. Yeah.
Khalas. Tamam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
You
yeah.
want to say? Yeah. This is mostly used after you get positive decision after your interview. You say Moria Khalas, Moria Tamam, Camp Khalas,
Yeah, it's
Lesbos Khalas.
finished.
It finished.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest problem in the camp. So it is one of the common words, unfortunately, which tell us a lot. This is maybe you read better.
Yeah, khayme, tent.
Tent.
I think Arab people also they called khayme, a Farsi word used by all the population to call tent when you want to like which is what's your name, the number of your khayme, your tent. Yeah.
Job, it's something very difficult to find, of course, for a migrant in Lesbos. And mostly many migrants are used as community volunteers. And yeah, if you want to say something, what is happening? Sorry.
Okay.
Mehdi,
Wow.
please, Mehdi. Mehdi, do you want to say something?
Yeah, because I had like I was working in Lesbos, like with the Greek person, and I want to say that they are like using people. They are like how to say it. They are using the situation of people, so they're not paying people like they should be paid. Like, for example, I was working for 8 hours and I was like working with 25 euros, 30 euros per day. But the Greek people who were working with me, like even not the same job, and they were taking like 60 euros, 50 euros per day. So yeah, also it's that's what I wanted to say about the job in Lesbos.
Thank you.
And also I want to say inside the camp, the people who like, there is no job for them, and if for example, they don't know English, they don't know Greek, and even they know English, they cannot work. Like they work like 3 shifts for NGOs, and they paid just like some voucher, 20 euro, 12 euro for just buying and per month, and it's very, very bad. Yeah.
Levele
Africa, yeah.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
This is used to show the zone where people from African countries live. Little. Every time the police stops refugees on their way to town, we say little. We mean that we are outside just to go to shopping.
Yes, and also when you want to go out from camp and the gate doesn't allow, don't allow to go outside, just you say I like little, and they could understand you want to shopping, and maybe they let you, maybe they don't let you. Yeah.
So before we were talking about pushbacks and we said life rats, so we wanted to show you also life rats. These are used during the pushbacks. The people are put here and sent back to Turkish waters. I am sorry, I will need to go a little bit faster as we need to use the time. Malaka is very common in Greek. It's the most popular insult, let's say, and it is also very much used by migrants here. Polis is Malaka, Greece is Malaka, but it is also used by police to refer the migrants, like hello Malaka, like this. Mehdi?
Yeah, this word became like, we used it. Yeah, it is an insult. Greek people use it an insult, but we turn it to use it like as crazy. When you want to say someone is crazy, you say, hey, Malaka. We use it. We turn it to use it between us as friends and loved ones, you know.
Yes. Also, there is a version Malakita. If it's woman, you say Malakita. We need to add this to the dictionary. Monster. Monster is the famous drink in the camp. Also, I put the picture.
I think it's most cheaper drinking inside the camp, and they buy it. Yeah.
Me crazy. It's the most commonly used term to say when someone needs a psychologist in front of the clinics, Klepno, George Office, and MSF. Me Muslim, Ana Muslim. Yes. And when there are some arguments or there are some fights, people, in order to separate these, just say me Muslim or Ana Muslim, to say we are all Muslims and believe in the same God. Let's stop this. Movement refers to a very famous NGO inside the camp, Movement on the Ground. You just say movement, I go to movement, it means you go to movement on the ground.
Yeah.
You want to say this?
Inside the camp, when you want to say something to someone that you don't know, it doesn't matter, you know or you don't know, and you want to call, just to tell my friend, and they know you call him or her, and just this, and it doesn't matter it's from another, it's he's or he, she is, they are refugee or they are volunteer or they are from Greek, it doesn't matter.
And there is a very creative graffiti from the streets of Mytilene. I wanted to share also with you. It is to the way to Moria camp. There is this graffiti. That's very much appreciated by us. So this is another topic, because every community living in the camp has one representative, community representative, and it is called Namayanda. And they are somehow listening the problems of their communities, and they are telling them to the Greek authorities or international authorities, and they are chosen with election. And during the Moria camp, there was an area which was kind of more independent, but also jungle had a representative. I don't know. This is a really important topic. Maybe we can speak another time, because there are also some conflicts between these representatives and the people.
Oh. Nasware Watani. Actually, I don't know how they bring this. It's a tambaku, but they can make just in Afghanistan, and I don't know. Yes, I can accept that in Iran we can find, because they can fly it in Turkish, yes, but here I don't know how they found these things, and everyone knows and everyone sell, everyone buy.
No good. Everything which doesn't work is described in few words. No good. Examples: Moria, no good. Food, no good. Camp, no good. Turkey, no good. No fight. When someone separates fights between the communities but doesn't know the language of all, just say no fight. No pork. It means no pork. In Moria camp, once a week, the food was sausages with not cooked rice. Asylum seekers hated this food and were wondering if it was pork or not because of the bad taste. And they were saying no hope to the food distributors. No line, no food. This is something used by the police to refer to the migrants. For the people who are in the food line, but not in a proper order for them, they just say no line, no food. Palette.
Like a wooden piece that everybody was looking for in order to put a place just for living, like not it's a really very big place or very normal place, and somehow in Moria they paid for that like €100 or even €600, yeah, and they do like this, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Paper police. It is another document that when police stops you, you need to show this paper, and it also shows that you are still legal. No,
Yes.
It is like if your police paper expired, you are also risking to be deported. Paracetamol. Also, Mehdi maybe can describe this, because for the first time I heard from him. Do you want to say something, Mehdi?
Yeah, it's like with paracetamol. When we were inside in the detention center, we were like every time asking, like each one who was like sick in different sickness. Every time you ask for medication or to see the doctor, they bring paracetamol. So people were like going super crazy with paracetamol every time, like paracetamol. So we made, like, after we went out, we did a demonstration, and we were like, in the demonstration we were like shouting, no paracetamol, paracetamol no good.
Yeah, I remember. Problem, it's used for everything which is not working well. Camp is problem, interview is problem, weather is problem, going outside of the camp is problem, electricity is problem. Prison, we just wanted to mention this because, yeah, right now from the camp, migrants are allowed to go out only for 3 hours in a week, and which is not even so easy, but we wanted to call this camp prison. Rain. Yeah, this is something also very common because it creates really huge problem in this camp, which is not very well structured. Also, during the Moria camp time, it was like this. Yeah. And we can show you a picture from camp when there is rain. And there is still no permanent solution to this situation. Salam.
Also,
hi.
salam, like Khodafez, when they want to, like Khodafez when they want to say goodbye, and when they want to say hi, they told salam. They call salam because they want. I think everyone knows, and every NGO to have a more connection with like a refugee. They told like this, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Section. It was used during Moria time for safe zone. You just say section, where it means where there are unaccompanied minor children. Charge is also a very common word, especially for not new arrivals, but for everybody to find charge for the telephone is one of the main words. This is one of the most interesting words, shaftonu. This word was used for some tents where there were sex workers inside, and asylum seekers used this number for us to like location. They were just asking for this number, and they were finding these tents. Yeah, we wanted to also show this part because this was one of the words that told to us. Stop pushbacks is one of the most common slogans, especially in the last days, that in the last 2 years, pushbacks are very high amount. There is also one graffiti made by a Greek artist, comic artist. Terjoman, Interpreter.
when they want to say something and they don't know the English or Greek, just they told tercüman, and they bring tasht.
Round plastic pots to wash clothes inside. It is asked to Euro Relief,
Yeah.
another NGO. Volunteer, people who are coming from Europe to help refugees.
And also the refugee people who work with NGO and they didn't pay, actually. They didn't.
They are not paid.
Yeah.
Wind. We wrote this kind of definition. Natural phenomenon frequently happens in an island in the middle of the sea, which makes shake the tents and cause such a strong noise, which many times makes impossible to sleep. Sometimes your tent can be completely destroyed because of this. Yasu means hello in Greek. Zaras, to show the minor children in the camp. Zeytun means olive, and this is coming from Moria camp times, as the dinner was always with boiled eggs, and people were asking for olive packs because they were suffering from constipation. Zone, as we already mentioned a little bit also before, there are different zones in the camp and with different colors. Yellow, blue, red, and green. And now also families, vulnerable people, single men are separated. And this is our last word.
Merci, teşekkür, and thank you. Everyone in the camp know and use one of these words for talking. I think the most useful is teşekkür. Yes.
So we are stop sharing our screen.